Good, beautiful morning, everybody. Welcome, TikTok and Facebook and YouTube. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. It is Wednesday, December the 21st, 2022. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium and a channel and an intuitive life coach. And today I'm having the energy of Archangel Metatron with us today, who wants to talk about how to open to new dimensions, open yourself to new dimensions to perceive them. And we'll get into that shortly. Yeah, it's a lot of changes, as we move through the seasons, you're going to be seeing a lot of changes happening. We're ending the last cycle of renewal and the harvest, and now we're moving into the winter season. So keep in mind that tomorrow is a very powerful day for manifesting and generating what you want. If you understand how to harness the energy of liberating the old and the process of going into the beginning of moving towards the new, because that's what winter does. It's shifting from the past into the present and into something new to be generated. Good morning, Carolyn. Good to see you. Good morning, Hassan and Adam. Yeah, so we're at a very important time in human collective unconsciousness. Now, he's told me that one of the challenges that most humans are facing today is the overstimulation of the senses is distracting you from the things that will really make sense to you. And it's pretty amazing what he's saying. I mean, we find ourselves caught up in the function of the senses as the exclusive way of experiencing our reality. But it's this physical dimension, he says, is only one small facet of our consciousness. It's only one small piece of it. He says our minds are far more complex than our bodies are, and our soul is far more complex than our mind is, and yet there's an elegant simplicity that moves through them all, and we're going to get into that. Good morning, Amy. Good to see you. Hi, Jacqueline. Hi, Christopher. Good to see you. Hello on TikTok. Good morning. Yeah, there's going to be some really fascinating changes coming over this. One of the things I was told also, he said, it's really important to know that a lot of these legalizations of drugs that have been illegal forever is to keep people in their senses. He says, when you're bound to the body, he says, so many of us are so bound to our body, we can't access other levels of information and knowledge and wisdom that cannot come to you from the physical dimension. He says it's really obvious. If you look at all new innovation did not originate in the physical dimension. All innovation originated from the fifth and sixth dimension, where ideas drop down to the soul. Then the soul drops it down to the mind, and the mind drops it down into the body, where its actions and behaviors are carried out to make the invisible visible to us. And so many of us are caught in that. We'll hear more about that. Good morning. Hi, Gina. Good to see you. Yeah, beautiful day. And it is a beautiful solstice time. It is. There's just so much change. I had a really fascinating experience last week with a reading I was giving. And a woman had asked for her partner that's been gone for several years to come and connect with her. And I literally watched this interaction between them. He energetically moved right towards her, and you could see her eyes filled with tears, and this smile came upon her face, and she embraced him with this love that was just incredible. And it went on for about a minute just to watch these two from two different planes of consciousness interacting with each other energetically. The soul lives, you live on a level of energy. You don't live on a level of matter only. A lot of people think the body is who we are. It's not. Anyway, I watched this event happen, and it just warms my heart when you begin to understand and see that people don't cease to be in existence. They simply change the medium of what they move their consciousness through right now. They move in consciousness from one dimension to another. We're in a physical dimension with these bodies, but we're also organizing these bodies from a non-physical dimension. Your awareness, your mind are not physical organisms. They're astral and spiritual organisms, different frequencies of a spectrum of consciousness. It's so important to understand that. So anyway, Metatron came this morning and said, the key challenge that humans must overcome now is their seduction to the senses as the only exclusive realm to acquire a sense of pleasure and well-being from. You must understand that your biological senses are a very small segment of your being. It is the point from which you express creativity, but it is not the source of your creativity, nor is it the source of your life. There's a big distinction between a source of pleasure and the source of life. The source of pleasure from the biological perspective is merely to give the body a sense of feeling good or not feeling good. That is simply the function of biology. And many of you are entrapped in the belief that your biology is the sole determining factor in your existence. And you must realize that that is not true, that your body's existence depends on you more than you depend upon your body's existence. Now, there are these dimensions of consciousness that are available to you that you can access if you begin a diligent process of pursuing these other dimensions of consciousness that are available to every one of you. Every one of you has these alternate dimensions of information available to you that you can bring down into the physical dimension, into your mind, and therefore into your creative expression in this world. And now, of course, there are many temptations being placed before you to keep you bound to your body, to keep you bound to your flesh, and disconnected from your true nature, your true creative capacity. Such as these things, many of them you are quite familiar with, but you have become so accustomed to them, you rarely question them. Alcohol and caffeine and these other substances that are designed to stimulate a state of awareness in your body that you think is localized to your body. Let us use a substance that we have heard many of you speak of, a substance they call organic mushroom. Now, while this will loan itself to assisting you in altering your consciousness, it is very temporary and it is very short. All of the chemistry that you need to generate an awareness and perception of alternate dimensions exists within your own capacity to stimulate that function in your biology from the perspective of your consciousness. That is to say, you have organs in your brain, very small organs in your brain, that when properly stimulated and activated by your function and relationship with the body, the way you make your body breathe, the way you make your body move, you can stimulate these organs to begin to give you information and ideations beyond the five physical senses as you attempt to use some of these other externalized substances to acquire that which you already possess. And yes, some of these things will loan themselves to giving you an awareness of these other dimensions, but it is very short-lived and often not something you can sustain, for the body cannot handle over repeating certain substances being ingested into it. It simply will diminish your capacity to move from one dimension to another as a function of your will. So you now become dependent on an externalized substance when you already have an internalized process that will let you do the exact same thing. And I'm speaking of this gland in your brain specifically called the pineal gland. This is a gland like your hand or your foot that can be learned to be activated and utilized. It is an antenna, if you like, that will allow you to receive information. Many of you call them downloads, but you can receive this information through that very tiny organ. The statement that you heard, you must have faith like a grain of mustard seed. Why do you think this organ is so small? And why do you think that statement was made? To be able to access the functionality of that organ opens up a realm of information that you cannot acquire from this physical dimension. And there are simple mechanisms, many of which we bring through this one on a regular basis to offer you simple steps that you can utilize to begin to liberate yourself from the subjectivity of the senses, from subjugation to your body, from subjugation to your mind and emotions, which mostly aren't yours anyway, until you begin a process of deliberate recreation of your personality. And you must come to a place where you begin a deliberate process of recreation of your personality. For the personality that many of you have been given and are being given continually by, again, outside sources, does not loan itself to truly navigating you towards the liberation that you're seeking from this world. This world cannot give you what you already possess. And there are simple steps you can begin. The function of your breath, the function of utilizing your breath, is the most simplest step that you can begin to utilize. It is the first foundational step you can take, is to learn to breathe your body in such a fashion as to begin to activate internal systems of the body that will loan themselves to giving you access to this other realms of information. Or you may continue to struggle with your externalized sensorial pleasant senses to try and access those dimensions. Again, many of the substance that you tend to acquire from this world to try and alter your consciousness will be very temporary and will not be long lasting. But in the journey inward to find that you can articulate the function of these internalized organs to bring into the system and to generate a specific chemistry that will allow your body to be a general antenna for divine and cosmic information that will allow you to liberate yourself from any condition you find yourself in. You must understand this, that you are not that body that is hearing these words. You are the awareness hearing the words through the body. And that the way your mind analyzes what you hear is going to be mostly based on what you've been told to think or believe about the world. And yet, if you could step back from the world mind that you've been given and begin to consider what you are hearing from the perspective of awareness and vibration, rather than the perspective of mental analysis from acquired information, you'll begin to feel and know the truth from within yourself, more so than you'll begin to understand the concepts that we're speaking of. The vibrational meaning of information can sometimes have a greater impact on your learning than can the linguistical structure of languages allow you to do. Understand, the languages made in this world only loan themselves to a certain spectrum of allowable perception. The English language by far gives you the greatest scope of being able to orchestrate and manipulate energies with words and information. But it is exclusively from the perspective of your awareness that you can gain access to ideas and information outside the scope of what you know from this world. For this world has but a very small part of a very infinite spectrum of information, possibilities, and opportunities for you to function as a creating intelligence in this physical dimension. These dimensions of information are without limit. As equally as you may be overwhelmed by the vast pool of information that you see contained within the atmospheric structure of this planetary system, as much as you can think there is way too much to learn in this dimension, this is but a small grain of an infinite spectrum of information. And if you find yourself stuck in this realm with the information you have, not moving anywhere, not evolving and not changing much, it is only because you need to learn to access information beyond what is familiar to you. And it is moving into the unfamiliar realms of information that you'll begin to find true liberation from the confines of your personality. But the process of deliberately coming to a place where you articulate your own fashioned personality, you begin to create a personalized identity that is not the one the world has given you, but the one that is your natural state of energy and vibration. In learning how to re-articulate your awareness from being exclusively bound by matter and mind, you can then turn your attention to these higher dimensions of information when you learn the process of activation of these internal glands in your physical brain. In the body are contained all the fundamental ingredients that allow you to not only communicate with this physical world, but allow you also to communicate to the worlds beyond. If you restrict yourself to the fundamental beliefs about religion and theology and your existing psychologies, then you will be stuck, bound by the rules of their perceptions, never venturing beyond the fences of what is a perimeter from them. But you may, at any time, as a function of your own will, venture beyond the perimeters of your own personality to access realms of information that allow you to lift yourself out of the world mind, out of subjectivity to other people's interpretations of who they think you should be, learning to formulate an identity that is truly unique to who you are. The functions of biology will adjust themselves to you, or they will simply force you to become conscious of what it is that you are doing that is not correct for them. Suffering is a very good example of when your body is suffering, where you're in ignorance or neglect of certain fundamental elements about the needs of your body and what it requires in order to function optimally as a mechanism for transmitting and receiving information between dimensions. For your body is a kind of a way station between the physical dimension and the astral realms and the multidimensional states of consciousness that exist. And remember that you live on 4 different dimensions of consciousness even while you are in that physical body. There are 4 simple dimensions of consciousness that you exist on. The first one is your physical body, which is very easy to recognize that you live in this dimension of matter. But there's also this other dimension of consciousness called energy, which is also what we call emotion in this dimension. But it is not a physical substance, although it interacts with physical matter, as emotion goes from an invisible realm to a visible realm in the form of behavior. It transitions from invisible to visible. And then you have this third dimension of consciousness called information, or what you may call mind, personality, the construct of information you've acquired through your 5 physical senses. And that information is, again, not of this world. You cannot see another person's personality as they walk past you down the street because it is invisible to you. It lives in a realm of information that is not physical yet. It is when the information becomes an energy that activates an emotion that causes a behavior that you can define, oh, that person is behaving this way, and you call that good or bad. But that is not a physical dimension. So you have this physical dimension of the body, the dimension of energy called emotion, the dimension of information you call personality or your character, whatever you wish to call it. And then you have the dimension of your awareness, which is another dimension altogether. Your awareness, which is the pinnacle relative to the mind and the emotions in the body. Your awareness is the pinnacle of consciousness that can assert an authority over both personality, emotion, and therefore matter. That matter, emotion, and mind cannot. There is a very well-structured hierarchy of consciousness. However, many of you as an awareness subjugate yourself down into the realm of I am just a body, and therefore your world is based on the sense of pleasure or pain exclusively. And it's a very difficult and limited way to experience your consciousness as just a physical structure, which is why so many of you suffer, because you do know in your heart that you are far beyond and far exceeding the limitations of biology. But believing you are just a body is very uncomfortable, to say the very least. To believe that you are just a body, or to believe even that you are just the personality, the collection of information that you've acquired from this world, is also likewise very difficult. Or to believe that you are simply the emotions that information in your mind generates. To make the error that you are one of these exclusively can be very difficult. To recognize that you are this consciousness. Many of you refer to it, and we certainly refer to it as I am. I am. That this element of your awareness, your soul, I am, has the capacity to articulate and reorchestrate the function of information and emotion and biology in a very unique and profound and some might even say a very miraculous way when you understand the relationship that you have over your thoughts, your personality, your emotions, and your biology. And it is only from this perspective that you can begin to make significant and sufficient changes in your mind that will be long-lasting and permanent. As most of you find yourself bound to mind and bound to the conditions of your body, believing that that is the only sole locus of your identity, you will suffer accordingly. But to the degree and extent that you are able to elevate your consciousness and recognize, I am not these thoughts, I am aware of these thoughts. I am not these emotions, I am aware of these emotions. I am not this body, I am aware of this body. And I can alter and change the information and therefore change the energy, therefore changing the manifestations of actions that come through the body. That position of I am allows you to do this. In fact, it is your natural state to be able to assert authority over the function of mind and emotion and biology, an authority that many of you had delegated to others. You've delegated it to your what you call your healers. You've delegated it to your leaders and to your politicians. You have delegated the authority that you naturally possess over your own mind and body to the world around you, and you suffer accordingly. For none can understand the function of creation as you can from the perspective of that being a creator. When you recognize that you are a creator and you learn the necessary steps to activating and utilizing that position in consciousness, then you will struggle accepting secondhand information and ideation that does not let you fully comprehend and understand your nature as a soul, as a spirit of universal light working through three different mediums of consciousness. Matter, energy, and thought are the three dimensions that are below you in your natural state. And for any of you that come to the position in awareness to recognize that you are not your thoughts, you are not the emotions, you are not the body, then you will also come to recognize the mess that might be occurring within those realms, and only you can truly correct it. You may find some in this dimension, and we know that there are many of us in physical form now that are loaning ourselves to sharing this simple information and these fundamental truths that you can begin to liberate yourself from unnecessary suffering. For all suffering is unnecessary if you understand the role of your consciousness relative to the function of mind, emotion, and matter. And then suffering becomes unnecessary. And then you shift from being a consumerist society, which is based on surviving, keeping the body to some degree of comfort, surviving, as opposed to creating. And creating is your natural function. Creating is your natural function. Survival is the function exclusively of the body, but not of the soul. The soul's function is creation. The body's function is survival, but the soul can re-articulate mind and emotion so that the body shifts from survival to creation, so it is in alignment with you. So your suffering can come to an end fairly quickly if you understand the true position that you hold in the realm of your mind and body. When you understand that your relationship to your thoughts, your emotion, and your biology, you can move into a realm of creation that's significantly more pleasing than living in the confines of the information that you've been given from this world, or the conditions of survival that your body's been placed in by environmental and economic structuring and circumstances perpetuated by other people that have nothing but their own interest to concern themselves with rather than your happiness. So it's very important you understand that there are many in this dimension that are here to loan the knowledge and wisdom that is true for you to comprehend and understand. And there are many here that are here to loan themselves to your greater enslavement and suffering. Learn to choose wisely who you will listen to and why you will listen to them. Understand that if one leads you to truth, you will know, for the truth will set you free. The truth will end suffering. Know this. Understand this. The truth will end suffering. Truth does not perpetuate suffering, it ends it. So if you look around you and you listen to your leaders, if what they are doing and what they're being is perpetuating suffering, then they are not living from the truth. and you should turn your minds and your hearts away from them. Turn to the truth within yourself that you are this delicious and wonderful and delightful awareness, this consciousness that is able to alter the structure of thought, energy, and biology. For those that could do it for you, if they could have done it for you, as they have said, it would be done by now. Those that are in positions of authority that said, if you listen to us, your life will be much better, but your life is not much better, then you should know by now that they are not telling you the truth, nor are they designed to give you the truth, for they benefit from your suffering quite greatly. They will not benefit from the truth. They will benefit from your suffering, which has been the case for many, many thousands of years. So to move into these realms of other dimensions, you must understand the ability that you have to activate these unique organs in your mind must be cultivated. How to utilize your breath in the function and stimulation of moving your awareness into other dimensions of information that are outside the framework of this physical dimension exclusively. All manifestations in your modern civilizations are exact products of information that came from the invisible realm and has become visible, while you too individually must learn to cultivate that ability within yourself so that you are not dependent on externalized systems of individuals, of religions, of philosophies, of theologies, of psychologies that restrict you from understanding and pursuing truth from the perspective of your awareness and not simply from the perspective of your five senses. Your liberation is inevitable one way or another. Your liberation is inevitable one way or another. If it be through love or if it be through fear, it is inevitable, for each will have its own result. But understand that I came here today to let you know that it is time for you to open yourselves up to other dimensions of information, to end the unnecessary suffering that so many benefit from you being in, to end that for yourself, to know that thought and emotion and biology are not the sole source of your identity, but rather the instruments of creation that you are here to learn to implement and utilize as a function of creative consciousness. As long as you remain in the belief that you are simply a physical body, then you will continue to live from the perspective of survival, and that will lead to greater dissatisfaction and suffering amongst all of you. But as soon as you recognize that you are simply here to learn the function of creation, then you can move from survival to creation. So now when you are functioning in creation versus survival, the conditions of your world will change quite rapidly indeed. Wow, thank you. Thank you, Metatron. Really appreciate that. Hi, guys. Hi, TikTok. Hi, YouTube. Mary's asking me, that is correct thought. Yeah, it is a correct thought on my shirt. Vibes. It's all about energy, folks. Good morning, everybody. Hi. Hi, Adam. Adam's so funny. He's asking Metatron that question. Okay, let's see what he says, Adam. So Adam's asking on YouTube, explain why a servitor is considered an artificial intelligence and how exactly it can cause manifestation of a desired intent by influencing synchronicities between events-based fields. Now, Adam likes really complex wording. So basically what he's saying is, can it be explained how the energy between different elements of time, space, and matter can produce synchronicities? What is the thing that causes the synchronicities between events in time and space? And is it artificial intelligence? No, it's unified, universal consciousness. It is what you would call a universal consciousness, this servitor you're talking about, which is a consciousness that relative to human dimensions of existence is all-knowing. Relative to human levels of consciousness, this consciousness is all-knowing. So it recognizes the interrelationship between all events of time and space and how they must, by law of vibration, interact with one another. So the causal effect of time and space then is based on vibration, not artificial intelligence. It's based on an understanding and a knowing of what happens when one thing occurs here and another thing must occur here. as a recognition. I all know this. Wow. Thank you, Adam. All-knowing consciousness. I love that. Question from Nancy. Why do we get feelings that something bad is going to happen? Will good things come? This is a great question, and a lot of people are faced with this right now. Yes, my guardian angel said to me, so a lot of people are caught up in the mind that they've been given. A lot of people are caught up in the thoughts, information, and ideas that the world has given them. And in your subconscious field where that information gets stored, watching these movies where people are killing each other and watching these catastrophe things and watching all these things that fill our minds with stuff that do not support us, that rests in your subconscious mind, and they produce energies. Whether the thoughts come from your own mind or somebody else, they will cause a movement in emotional energy. So if you're watching a TV show, I'm sure every one of you have experienced this, watching a TV show where you're watching it and your favorite hero doesn't know he's going to be attacked, and you're kind of going, oh, watch out, right? And your mind is reacting and your body is reacting to an event outside of itself, and that event is influencing your energy into a state of fear. And I cannot tell you nor caution you enough how important it would be to take your attention away from all the devices that are being put around you to keep you stimulated in fear. So understand that when you feel that it's like something bad is going to happen, use your breath and release that emotion from your body. Use your breath and release that emotion from your body. And then you'll watch the mind, of course, will then try to recreate it. And then you must release the thought that causes that energy. Good things happen when you align yourself to the energy of love. What is love as a vibration for you? Do you know what a love is as a vibration for you? Can you feel it? Can you find out where it lives in your body? Can you then, in that place in the body where it lives, allow yourself to expand it and fill your body with that vibration? The very function of using energy in this way will cause a change from one state to another. But use your breath to liberate that feeling from the body. And then use your breath to bring in the feeling and vibration of love into your body. You can do this. You are creating intelligence. You're not simply a body. You are the operator of that body that you find yourself in. Do not believe that you have to suffer at all. Wow. Thank you so much. Really wonderful question, Nancy. So we can swing over TikTok. Kelly's asking on TikTok. Hi, Kelly. Oh, hi, Cherry. Hi there. Hi there. So Kelly's asking, is painting my thing to continue? They're saying that it's not something to dismiss so easily, but understand that there are other things that you can add to your life. So many of you are bound by this illusion that you must choose one thing or another. And we have constantly said through this one over and over, it is important to understand you can do this, and you can do this, and you can do this, and you can do this. Is that not much better than should I do this or should I do this? You must understand the nature of how your mind functions. And if you place in it information that says this or this, it will naturally create division in your mind, which in turn creates division in your energy. But you can do your painting, and you can do this new job, and you can do this other thing, and you can do this other thing. Do not underestimate your creative capabilities. None of you. Do not underestimate your creative capabilities. Wow. Wow. That was really cool. Great question, Kelly. Yeah, just for some of you that know, we go live Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 10 a.m. here. And I'm going to have we're going to be doing a special event for TikTok starting next week, and I'll explain that in a video that will go up on my TikTok channel later today. For those of you that are on TikTok, if you do want to ask questions, if your question hasn't been answered, there's going to be a pinned video on my TikTok channel. You can go write your question under there, and then I can respond to your question. So please, any question if your question doesn't get answered, or if you're afraid your question not going to get answered, please put it up on my TikTok channel under one of my 2 pinned videos right now or anytime during the day. And I'll be more than happy to bring the answer, whether you want to talk to your guardian angel or your ascended master, or you want to talk to your grandmother or grandfather. you have to understand there is no such thing as death. There's a transition in energy from one state to another. And if you understand that, then when the body ceases to function, you'll understand that doesn't mean the existence of that soul is over. It's just on another plane of perception that's outside the five physical sense realm, but you can learn to perceive that realm too. You can learn to perceive other dimensions of consciousness, which is what Metatron is telling us today. Learn to activate the pineal gland, learn to generate the chemistry that the pineal gland can generate to let you see into these other dimensions, rather than using substances like mushrooms and all these other things to try and change your consciousness. Yeah, it will change your consciousness, but then you have to depend on that thing when inside you is this incredible little organ, the size of a grain of rice, and that organ can be activated and open up so many realms of information for us. And it's amazing because I do it every day. It's wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. It's okay, Kelly. You want to align yourself. It happens a lot. Remember, people are not against people because they want to be. If you watch television, you'll see how people are being trained to hate one another, to not trust one another, to not love one another. There's so much sowing of fear and darkness and evil through mass media communications. The dark, what they tell me are the dark ones benefit from people being in fear. They feed off the energy that's generated from your fear. They cannot feed off the energy that's generated from love. And they cannot put you in fear when you're in a state of love, and they lose their power. And yet, just watch it, Kelly. Don't watch what you watch on television. Don't watch it. Don't watch that stuff. Stay away from the news. Stay away from anything that wants to keep you in a state of fear. People who love you and care about you, and people that will want to lift you up. And if the authorities that existed today truly loved humans, they would be putting out information and ideas that would elevate and lift human consciousness up, which is part of the problem we're facing now. We're seeing the results of lower vibrational human consciousness affecting time, space, and matter in a very unpleasant way, right? Jessica wants to hear from Jessica Pearl on TikTok wants to hear from her father who passed. Yeah, he says He says I'm coming. He says I'm coming to the rain, and I don't know what that means. It's not rain, like he's saying, like rain, like REIGN, like the rein of a horse. He says something like I'm coming to the reins. I don't know what that means, but he wants me to tell you that he's coming to the rain, and I don't know that. If you connected to horses in some way, that's what he's going to be coming to that. And you'll feel him, and you'll know his presence there. Again, I don't know where that is or what that's connected to, but I'm clearly seeing, like the reins of a horse that's being held in hands, and I'm coming to the reins. And again, I please share your experience and the information, how it's affected you in the comment section below, or put it below the pinned comments on my TikTok page, on my pinned videos. Thank you. You're welcome, Nessa. Hi, Maya. Good to see you. Hi, Ang. How can I overcome the downhill driving fear? Oh, this is fun. I like that. This is my guardian angel, John, coming in. Oh, this is fun. I love that. The fear of driving downhill. Again, the emotion in the body is what you need to alter. It's not about the hill. It's not about the car. It's about the body. A lot of people don't understand this. The body responds, and I'm being told to tell you that this fear originated in a past life where you actually fell off a balcony somewhere. You fell off a balcony in a past life, and you died. And that's where your fear of going downhill originated. But I'm also being told to tell you the fear is in your body. So it's not the fear. You don't fight the fear. Console your fear. Tell the fear you're perfectly safe. I will take care of you. Even now, if you were to sit and think about driving down a hill, find where the fear lives in your body. And to the place where the fear lives in your body, you say to the fear, I am with you. I will take care of you. I will keep you safe. You speak to the fear as you would to a child. You speak to the fear as you would to a child. Because why? Because your body is a child. Doesn't matter what biological age your body is. your body is a child. It will not age in terms of consciousness past the age of 5 years of age. It's a fight or flight mechanism. It's instinctual. It's not who you are. But yeah, so next time you're going to a downhill, and they're telling me to tell you to do this today. When you get to the top of the hill, be aware of the fear and then talk to fear. I'm with you. I love you. I'll take care of you. You are perfectly safe. Communicate to the fear and then use your breath. They're saying make sure you breathe while you're talking to the fear. Use your breath. But it's not about trying to overcome the fear or get rid of it. It's simply reassuring the body memory, the genetic memory system that you've got this. And you'll find in about 3 days' time, that fear will be almost nothing. So please, when that happens, Maya, please let us know. So someone's asking, is artificial intelligence consciousness? They're telling me no, artificial intelligence is not consciousness. Artificial intelligence, as you understand it to be, is the consciousness of a mechanism that has comprehended and withholds in itself the sum total knowledge of all human acquired information at this point of time and space. This assembly and coordination of knowledge relative to any human individual can appear to be intelligent, but is simply the capacity of a device to coordinate and organize large amounts of information quickly and easily. Intelligence requires that there is one that is not just organizing information, but that there's something that oversees that organization of information. At that point, yes, you can say there is an intelligence that has evolved as a result of that. But at this point in your collective unconsciousness, you are simply seeing a vast pool of information gathered together all collectively that is able to be coordinated and utilized in a much broader spectrum than you can individually. And so to you, it appears to be quite intelligent, but it is simply a quantum form of organizing information pooled together in one localized source. I love that answer. Thank you so much. Great question too. So somebody's asking on YouTube, who did I get scammed from? The word that pops in my mind is he's in Nigeria. That's the words I'm getting. He's in Nigeria. Yes. Let it go. Learn the lesson. A lot of people have that going on right now. Let's see what we got over here. Yes, that's true. We all are. Question from Polly on YouTube. Just come out of the hospital after 12 days and 1.5 years of poor health. Diagnosed with lupus. Any help in curing this? Polly, you need, again, a whole bunch of information flowing on. You need to change from low vibrational foods to high vibrational foods. Proper hydration. There's a difference in frequency in foods. You need to eat foods that are high vibration. You need to go shift to high vibrational foods. And if you're going to continue eating what you're eating now, pray over your food. Like put vibrational energy, like gratitude and love and joy into whatever you're going to eat. Put that into it at the very, 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 very least. But they're saying no, it's really important that you shift to high vibrational eating. We cover that in all of our masterclasses, where we show people a simple way to move from lower vibrational eating to higher vibrational eating. And you can go to my website and check out all our courses and classes. And literally shifting your body first by putting in the proper foods, shifting your mind by changing to high vibrational thoughts, like thoughts of excitement and fun and possibility. Let go of fearful thoughts. Yeah, they're telling me you have a lot of that. You've been holding on to a lot of fearful thoughts. The lupus originated in a very young age. A lot of people say, oh, it was inherited. Inherited genetic behavior is memory acquired from your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, 3 and 4 generations of information. So when they say you've inherited it, it's just a memory of emotion and information that you've inherited memory. You can alter and change that if you understand the function of your ability to put the body and mind into a state of open receptivity and how to restructure and reorganize genetic patterns as a function of your will, which you can learn to do, right? You can learn to do that. You can learn to alter genetic memory and genetic information and not just sit with it. Sending you much healing and love. Archangel Raphael, I'm just asking him now to go to you, to guide you, to give you the inspiration that you need to shift the way you are feeding your body. This is not just about your body. They're saying there's lots of bitterness and anger that you're still holding on to, that needs to be released so that the condition does not perpetuate itself. So liberate yourself from old emotions and change the vibrational quality of the food that you're eating. Also, proper hydration. Go out and ground. Get out in nature. Get your feet on the ground. We teach all this in our master classes, and all of our master classes are led by the ascended masters, and it's pretty amazing when you experience that firsthand. A lot of people come into the course thinking one thing, it's just about a course about mediumship. No, it's a course in awakening yourself to your divine nature and how to function here as a creative intelligence and not simply as a mind-body mechanism. Thank you so much for that question, Paul. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so much correcting going on. A question from Vertical. The friend I'm thinking about is asking what stone would benefit her to wear around her neck. I'm being told she needs to wear obsidian first. They're saying obsidian first, emerald second. These are in periods of 7-day sequences to be rotated 3 times. So that's obsidian, emerald, and amethyst in that sequence. 3 times, 7 days each. That will cause a rebalance in 3 different energy centers, the root chakra, the heart chakra, and the throat chakra, which is what's blocking the flow between above and below, right? Energy centers in the body are important to understand. Good morning, John. Good to see you. Hi, Hassan. Good to see you, brother. Hi, Beth. Good to see you, darling. Wonderful to have you here today. Let's see, switch over here. Hello from hi from Tara, Ontario. Well, good to see you. Wonderful. Love Ontario. I'm in Toronto. Yeah, lots of questions here. Great questions today, guys. Somebody's asking shifting or sifting. If I get your name wrong, it's just I'm looking at a very small screen. Shifting Solace is asking, do you believe in direct reincarnation of a specific person within a given soul? That's a great question. I've asked that question, and my guardian angel John told me, he said, when you leave that body, the personality construct that you have dissolves. You'll still carry like a fractal of the memory of that personality, but you as an awareness move into a new vibrational experience that's based on the point of time and space and consciousness that you departed the physical body at. So if you left the physical body in a very beautiful, wonderful state of consciousness, then you're going to go into a state of consciousness that you'll continue to evolve that. He says that there's no end in the spectrum of good and no end in the spectrum of evil. They both go on infinitely as polarity in opposite directions. He says there are occasions where a person can hold on to a fractal from another lifetime and bring it forward because they need to grow off that. There's things that they need to grow off that from. But generally speaking, you reincarnate in a brand new body with a clean mind and a clean emotional field. And then whatever you bring into it is what determines what you attract in the environment around you. And I'm sure some of you have heard of Dolores Cannon, who developed a process called QHHT. And she talked about something I really found fascinating. She said, Earth is the most low vibrational and dense planet in creation, but it also offers the greatest opportunity for enlightenment too. Because if you can transcend the low vibrations of energy here and ascend your consciousness up to a higher state, you can really learn a lot and evolve significantly. It's quite the place to be, this planet. A lot of people don't want to come here. So Sarah is asking, will my husband move up with his employment? Tell him to do these things. He must do all things, not with expectation, but with love. Let him do all things without expectation, but with love. And the result is inevitable, for love organizes your experiences very differently than does fear. Love organizes vibrationally your experiences in this dimension very differently than the vibration of fear. Have him do all things with love, without expectation, and the rest is inevitable. So it is completely within his function of creation. Will he use love or will he use fear? His anticipation would seem to incline that he's concerned and has some fearfulness around this. But love does not have fear. Love cannot fear. I love that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Nancy. Great question. Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of negativity on the planet, but there's also, that just gives you an opportunity to ascend your energy. Use the opportunity to realize that polarity of energy, what they're putting out, that I'm not going to align to fear. I'm going to align to joy, love, compassion, kindness, patience, love. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, if you're on YouTube and I'm not getting to your questions, you can always use the super chat feature. It pins it up to the top, and I know I can go to that question right away. Question from Rue Lorca on YouTube. May I have a message today on how I am doing? Is there something I am overlooking or missing? Your guardian angel, she's come in and she's like, there's something you're overlooking. Yes. What is it that he's overlooking? They're saying she's saying there's an order. There's an order to things that you're not following. Can you be more specific than that? Yes, his environment. There must be greater order. There's so something she's saying about your environment, wherever you're living, you need to organize it to be more in alignment with your frequency of your soul, which is love. Tell him to stop leaving that stuff lying around. Yeah, that'll really help. Don't leave anything lying around. But she's saying it's mostly this. It's an order of things that will allow the order of events to unfold more rapidly. The order of things. Yes. She says she likes to kiss you in the morning before you wake up too, on the right cheek. She likes to kiss you in the morning on the right cheek before you wake up. That's really cool. I like that. Don't get too many female guardian angels coming in here. Thank you for that, Rue. Great question. Tatiana is asking and would love to hear a message from her mom. I don't know why, but she's speaking in a foreign accent. So it's like a Slavic accent, and she's like, "Oh my dear, I love you." Like she's like, "Oh my dear, I love you." She's saying she loved the raising of you. She loved the child. She loved the childhood. She's a good girl. She says she's a really good girl. She's saying be mindful of who you let in now. Be mindful of who you let in now. She says, I'm always watching out for my girl. So she's like always watching out for you. She's always watching out for you. Always watching out for my girl. But yeah. Yeah, again, whoever this person is says, be mindful who you let in, right? But she's always watching out for you. You understand? Yeah, if you Tatiana, take a breath and relax. She wants you to feel her presence around you. Like just relax and take a breath and just observe what shifts or changes around you right now as an energy. Just notice what changes around you as an energy. And that's your mom you're feeling her presence. Just be aware of it. Let her present to you the way she presents to you, right? I get this big glow of light coming around you is what I'm being shown. But you'll feel the energy the way you feel the energy in that body, because that body is not the same as this body, right? And everybody's body may perceive things slightly different than other bodies because they're different bodies. They're unique. They're unique. Thank you for that. I really appreciate your mom. She's a beautiful soul. I love that. What are my thoughts? Somebody's asking me, what are my thoughts on medium Natalia? Again, every medium is unique and distinct in their function. My function as a medium, according to my guardian angel John and many of the ascended masters I work with, my function is to be a function of transmitting truth and higher knowledge to assist people to liberate themselves from unnecessary suffering. And I don't know Natalia personally. If I tune into her energy, she's doing a lot of growing right now. She's going through some limitations in her emotional field that once they're gone, her channeling will really improve significantly, right? Because information that you bring through, you want to try and avoid bringing information through your own thinking mind. You want to learn to just create a clear pathway so you receive the vibrations from them and it comes out through you as close to what they transmitted as possible. You know, yeah, a lot of mediums have difficulty transmitting information, not because they're not good at being a medium, but they haven't developed the necessary psychology of their mind and the energy in their body. You have to have a good body vibration. You have to have a clear mind. You have to be open and receptive to the vibrational information. You cannot be in fear. You cannot be be a medium and channel through fear. You can receive information from a higher vibrational frequency. But I don't get that she's got anything more than some fear to let go of. Her channeling will improve. It really will. Everybody's a channel. Remember that. They keep saying that to me too. Everybody is a medium. You have the architecture in your brain, the equipment in your brain to become a medium, to receive downloads and information. Everyone does, but there is some training required, like in anything, even in this third dimension. To become a car mechanic, you have to go out and learn about cars. You have to learn certain things about cars to repair them. Same with philosophy or theology or writing or anything we do in this third dimension, that you have to learn certain skills and acquire certain knowledge to be able to do certain things. And the same thing is true for mediumship. There's certain things you need to learn to do with your mind and your body and your emotions that make you a clear channel, or a channel that's bound by the conditions of your personality. And a lot of people try to be mediums from their ego. You cannot be a medium from ego. There's no ego involved. I like the information they give me. I'm grateful to receive it and grateful to hand it over, because it's not for me. It's for the people that are receiving it. It's for you guys. What comes from me is for the people that are there to receive it. And I'm honored to do this. Thank you so much. Let's see. Where are we here? Go switch over here. Question from SJK. When my dog was dying, it seems she was caught between dimensions for about 36 hours. What happened, and did someone finally assist her over the Rainbow Bridge? Yeah. I'm tuning into your dog, who loves you very much. She still actually hangs around you. You might feel her licking your feet and rubbing against you sometimes, and she's really there energetically. She said she was really reluctant to leave you. That's why the long duration between dimensions. Yeah. Understand that animals are very loyal, especially dogs. They like to stay with them. They'll hold on. Animals will hold on because they don't want to leave your presence. And then when they get over the other side, they can hang around you anyway. So it's really cool. No, she's over there now. She's like feel her presence around you. Become sensitive to her presence around you. Humans are so bound by the 5 sensory world as being the only way to apprehend experiential awareness. It's not. You have other senses: clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, that you can develop, and you can see beings around you. You can know their presence. You can feel it. You can hear it. You can learn these things. You can open those senses up. The current educational system on this planet does not loan itself to helping you open your other senses. It wants you to stay bound by sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell, and leaves you cut off from all these other wonderful faculties you have of clear seeing, clear hearing, clear feeling, and clear knowing. Some people call it intuition, right? Or a hunch. There's different ways, different terms for these other senses that we all possess, but most of us have not developed because we're so caught up in the 5 sensory world. Again, the work that's channeled through me is about helping people to reawaken those senses, to liberate yourself from unnecessary suffering. It's so simple. Thank you for that, SJK. Your dog is so cute. I love him. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Hassan. Thank you, Christopher. Wow, a lot of questions today, guys. Oh, I got a question here from Goji on YouTube. A loved one lives alone and she is afraid of this new transition as her pets are gone. How can I help her not feeling this fear of being alone? Remember, that fear is not who she is. That is the fear of the body that's become acclimatized to having these animals around all the time. The journey for her is to go within now, to surrender her fear, to connect to her soul, to connect to her love. In this place of love, she will have no lack. She will know and feel the presence of the dear ones that are still around her right now. Energetically, they are with her for this transition that she's in, this transition from fear to love. They helped her to get to this place, and now this journey from fear to love is hers. And in that transition of energy from fear, which is based in her body, to the awareness that she is this beautiful divine entity that has a mind, that has a body, that creates emotions, that functions in this dimension, as she comes to this realization, her fear will subside quite rapidly and easily as she understands that she is not the body, she has a body. And the body is now just a little afraid because it's by itself. And she needs to let the body know, I am with you. I will take care of you. And then she must do that. She must take care of her body. She must give it proper food. She must give it proper clothing. She must give it proper water. She must love it as she loved her dear ones that are around her. She must love her body as if this is another dear one with her. Because your body is, you know this, right? You know that your body is not you. It is an animal that you are working through creatively, and that it needs to be treated with great respect and regard. It is an instrument that allows you to express in this dimension through. Without the body, you cannot express in this physical dimension as you do. So she must teach the body that she is here to take care of it and love it and honor it and cherish it as she did her other dear ones. She must learn to give the body the same love and respect and kindness that she had given to her dear ones. Wow. Thank you so much for that. Yes. Wow, so many great questions today, guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I think you got that. Kelly, yeah, she says, stay soft. Kelly, she's saying she wants you to stay soft and gentle. Do not get hard. She's saying, tell her not to get hard. Don't get hard. She wants you to stay very soft. Yes. Yes, somebody just, I picked up a question from somebody about the proof of information has often happened, but if you understand that the desire for proof resides in yourself, if you think that our speaking through a physical body is so unusual, then is it not also unusual that you are not that body, that you are aware you can direct your body? That is an extension of matter that you utilize. Do you need any proof to know that you are telling the body what to do and that you're telling the body to do it from somewhere other than the physical dimension? Or do you need proof to believe that the non-physical world exists when you have thoughts that are invisible for anybody? You have thoughts that are invisible because they are not visible until they generate an emotion and become a function of energy that causes behavior. So you who question the validity of the information that we bring through this one or others such as this, understand that you are not just a physical body. You too live on many dimensions of matter, time, and space. And if you understand how to coordinate these different elements of your body, your mind and your energy and your thought and your awareness, if you learn to coordinate them, you'll have a deeper understanding that proof is not necessary to know that these non-physical realms exist in consciousness, that there are dimensions of consciousness that exist even within you right now, that do not require our having to prove anything to you by telling you something or not telling you something that you would like to see if it is true or not. It is true that you are not that body because you can direct it. It is true that you can reorchestrate your thoughts. And who are you that does that? It is awareness. It is soul. Remember that. Wow. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Well, thank you for Your happy face. I really appreciate that. Um, so happy. So yeah, just TikTok users, if you got questions that I did not get to today, please post them under the pin. I've got 2 pinned videos on my TikTok channel. You can write your questions under those 2 pinned videos, and I will answer those questions. I will get to every single question one way or another. And again, I look forward to that new process that we'll be moving into with TikTok followers after today. And again, I want to thank my YouTube subscribers, my Patreons, my Facebook family, guys. We are at a really beautiful time in our creative consciousness, and we can succumb to fear or we can embrace love. Those are our only 2 choices. They keep telling me this. The only 2 choices humanity has is will we choose to live from fear, which is survival and consumerism and greed and selfishness and power, or we can choose to create from love, which is creativity and curiosity and compassion and kindness and respect and integrity and love. That's the 2 roads that humanity is on the fork of right now, that we must choose one or the other now. There's a very short timeline for us. And the focus of the work that they're doing through me is to guide us to love. Because love is the only path to real freedom and no suffering. Love has no suffering. Fear, unfortunately, does. Thank you very, very, very much for everybody. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your questions. And YouTube, if I haven't gotten your questions, what you can do is just write it when the video reposts. You can write your question underneath this video or any one of my videos, and I will get to that as well. I'll look forward to seeing you guys on Friday, where it's all Q&A. There's going to be no messages. Well, there'll be messages because there's going to be Q&A. But on Friday, I'll look forward to seeing you guys at 10 a.m. on Friday, and for our Q&A segment. And again, thank you so much for your support, TikTok, Facebook family, everybody, YouTube, Patreons. Thank you so much. If you want to support this channel, you can do so through my Patreon page, patreon.com. You can also do so through the super chat when I'm live on YouTube, or the gifting center on TikTok, or not, whatever works best for you. I want to say thank you so much. I want to thank Archangel Metatron for being present with us today, and the other beings that came through and offered their guidance and wisdom to us. I want to wish you all much love and say thank you very much. Have yourselves an awesome and joyful day, and I will see you guys on Friday. Bye for now.